our departed, and that we keep working toward having a world that isn't at war with itself anywhere. That would be my hope for Memorial Day, that we don't need to send women and men around the world to fight, that we don't have to defend our own homes, that we can live in peace with one another. So that starts with ourselves. So today's fear-free creativity, which is all about accessing our imaginations and growing our confidence to express it creatively and our courage to share it with others. So today on Fear-Free Creativity, this new 52 episodes, we have covered, we started with visual, then we went to writing, now we're doing movement today, and next time will be sound. And we're going to go back and forth between these different mediums as a way to demonstrate that we get to choose wherever we want to explore, have fun, exploring our own imagination and increasing our confidence to express it and share it. We get to choose. And the more we play, the more creative we become. I've listened to a number of really brilliant people who say the most creative people in business are the ones who are the most playful. We have heard many famous artists and musicians and theater actors and all sorts of filmmakers say things like, be in your childlike wonder. I heard the Tibetan bell.
Joni B on YouTube said Happy Memorial Day, and DB Catalyst on YouTube said hi all.
Nice that you're there. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. And I'm really, I'm looking forward to getting into today's episode. I have to acknowledge, well, I choose to acknowledge, that I'm a little bit trepidatious about it. I haven't led a movement creativity retreat totally focused on movement for nearly half a century. Boy, does that make me sound like an elder, which I am. And I am trepidatious about doing it, which is wonderful because I'm going to go through it and face it and be an example of what I believe in, which is we get to play. We don't have to be perfect. We don't have to seek anyone else's approval. We can be proud of ourselves for being willing to try new things. So today is about movement, and I call it floga. And we're going to do some things.
Hey Mom, just real quick, the way you have the mic when it presses against your neck, it
doesn't work.
Yeah.
I can hold it until I'm doing the moving part, and then I'll set it down. How's that?
That works better.
Okay, so we're going to start with a warm-up, a way to get our energy flowing, which is why I call it floga, that I came up with when I was working at Miller Dwan in the mental health department. And in the middle of one of my sessions with a big group of people, somebody that worked there brought in a patient and dropped her off and came over to me and said she tends to get hysterical and starts hitting people. And I thought, wow, what am I going to do now? And this woman had a plastic bat that they'd given her, I guess, to hit people with so it didn't hurt them too much. But I was a little nervous about that whole idea. And then I looked over at her just a couple minutes later and she was starting to hyperventilate. So I came up with what I'm going to share with you, and I've been using it ever since. It just came to me spontaneously to do this, and it did chill her right out. And I've used it with agitated children, with hostile adults, with anxious people. I've used it on myself. I've used it in groups, and it is universally helpful. So I'm going to, that photograph Bodhi's showing was a rehabilitation center. And so he's got some photographs and he can show them periodically through this episode today. So first I want to say that before we get into the Floga part, this is the Fear-Free Creativity box where these artistic adventures will go into the box in these 4 categories: visual, writing, movement, and sound. And we'll collect them throughout these 52 episodes. And I will turn them into a book that will have video to go along with it, that will be a complete, broad spectrum creative experience as an instruction tool to help us access our own imaginations, which we all have, and increase our confidence to express it and share it. So these are feelings: dark and light, heavy and light, coming out of the box that we often put our feelings in because we are taught, you shouldn't feel that way, you're too sensitive, you feel too much, all this bullshit, because feelings initiate thoughts. Feelings expressed stimulate our immune system. So they are good for us. It's what we do with them that can make them positive or negative. So if we use them as impetus for art, whatever the feeling is, we can turn our disadvantage into advantage by making it into art. There are no bad feelings. There are difficult feelings to feel, but they're all part of being a human being. So we're going to experiment today with feelings. But first, I'm going to set the mic down and do this exercise that I came up with for this woman who was chemically imbalanced and was about to get violent. And so I looked at her and I said, wiggle your toes. So we're starting with our toes. Let's set that down. Can you still hear me?
You just sound a little distant.
Well, how about, that's all right.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. And so we're starting with our toes and we're just going to wiggle them. Just wiggle them. And really feel them on the floor. And you can do these with me, you can do them later, you can do them anytime you want. Now we're going to go up to the arches of our feet. We're just going to move them. Try to get aware of it. They do move, and they have blood and oxygen. And now we're going into the heels of our feet and feel them on the floor. And now the ankles, and moving them back and forth and up and down, and now into the shins and the calves, and feeling the energy coming up, and into our knees, and wiggle them and rotate them, and gentle. We're not trying to prove anything to anybody. We're trying to take care of ourselves, so be aware of your limitations if you have any injuries. Or now we're up to the up to the thighs, and just vibrating them and feeling them Now, all the legs down to the floor, into the floor, to the feet, and now the hips. And I like to go both ways when I do rotations, back and forth, front and back, around and around, and just feel the energy go from the hips down into the floor. And now the belly and the booty. Now the rib cage and the spine. Any way you want to move it, just be aware of it. Just try to feel it. The different ways it can move side to side, front to back, around in circles. Now up to the shoulders. Shoulders can go up and down together, or one at a time. And accent the down, and accent the up. In circles, in circles, in circles, and forward, and back, and back. And now let that wiggle go all the way down to the floor and come all the way back up to our arms. And now our arms are free, moving. And through our wrists and hands and into our fingers, all the energy. Breathing. And now our neck and head. And now my hair out of my face. Okay, now we're going to go from the top of our head and back down into the floor. All righty. Okay, so there we go. That's what I call floga, getting the energy in our body coming up and going back down into the earth. Yes, I hear the bell.
Yeah, on YouTube, we got some people love your sarong, and I'm feeling looser already. Great to start with a warm-up. I love the story of the wiffle ball bat lady.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, I decided to wear this little sparkly thing. I actually was going to wear this scarf that looks like the pattern on cows as a way to let go of my fear of being criticized. 71-year-olds like myself are not normally in front of a camera, especially not moving. And so let go of the cruel things I've heard people say about other women, she looks like a cow and stuff. But I decided, let's go happy. Let's go sparkly. Yes.
Yep. Two things. You got the mic in your hand, and the other, Joni said, feeling good now, smiley face emoji.
Nice, nice. That's what it's all about, is we get to love ourselves. Self-love is where all the good stuff comes from. And there's a lot of fear-based control turns into hate, turns into jealousy, turns into critical comments. We get to let all that go and just love ourselves for being willing to accept ourselves wherever we are, in our mobility, in our flexibility, in our vigor, in our lives, and just love ourselves, enjoy the moment, and keep going. So the next exercise, artistic adventure, I like to call them, is going to be something I made since last episode that I call little idea boxes. I repurpose little cheese boxes, and Bodhi shows you those. So inside of those little boxes, he's going to randomly pull out. We're going to go for moods first. And he's going to take the little box and he's going to randomly pull out a mood, and there's dark and light contrast on each side of the piece of paper. So I'm going to set the mic down and I'm going to interpret this just playfully. No wrong way to do it. The only thing I think is not right, I say this, is not trying. So let's try.
Okay. So you want positive or negative first?
Doesn't matter, you choose.
Okay, so lyrical. And dramatic.
Okay. Another
And then
one?
You want another mood?
Yes.
All right.
4 of these.
4, okay. Anxious. Calm. Okay. Childlike. That's for sure. Sophisticated. Okay. Powerful. Subtle. All right, and that was 4 of these mood cards.
Okay. So this is something, do we have these up as links?
The cheese?
The cheese.
She made these out of brie cheese boxes.
Do we have the feelings typed up as links yet? Well, if we don't, let me put it this way, we will. So you can print them out, write them up. You can, of course, make up your own, and you can make your own little boxes. I find that trying not to control it, but looking things at random really can open up my heart and my feelings and my mind to experiment, because I'm not trying to, like, what am I in the mood for and going into that critical defining part of the brain, but just the spontaneous part. So we're going to do another experiment in this artistic adventure movement series, and this is parts of the body with different types of music. So Bodhi's going to randomly choose from the body box, and then he's going to use different music, and I'm going to try to let that music be centered in that part of the body. So let's experiment with this.
Okay, so before I do the body part, you want music. So do we start slow and then go
Yes,
medium fast?
yes, and one of the things I want to always say is remind us to be careful with ourselves. We are precious, and so moving slowly and being aware of our own limitations, energy level, mobility level.
I'm gonna come and change your microphone to the laptop microphone.
Oh, okay,
Maybe set that on the laptop.
okay.
Yeah. No, because now it's picking
Now
up
what?
music.
Yeah, but you're going to turn that music off because we're going to have.
Okay. I'm gonna mute your micro.
Can you hear me?
How about this? Just wear the mic. Put it back on your neck. It was not that big of a problem. Sometimes I get nitpicky and the solution is worse than
Simpler.
the problem was.
There you go. Okay, so we're going to start with the body box. And so different parts of the body are going to be randomly selected. And Bodhi's going to also pick out music. And I'm going to try to let that music move from that part of the body out. Yes.
YouTube reminds me of theater class exercises. Heart said DB Catalyst, and Joni B said we're in sync today. Lots of similar movements.
Nice, beautiful, beautiful. I love it. I can feel you out there. And yes, creativity can flow in any direction we choose to let it. And so theater, writing, sound, movement, dance, painting, drawing, they're all interconnected. And so if we flow in one area, it helps us to be freer in other areas. So this deciding we should be good at one thing or specialize at one thing is actually counterproductive. Try many things, like children play. They don't decide, oh, I don't do this, I don't do that. They try things, and that's how we find out what moves us, what inspires us, what restores us. So let's go for the part of the body and the music, and we'll let the music move coming from that part of the body and maybe cascading out. We'll see what happens.
All right. So for the part of the body, we got feet and hands. And
Okay.
let's play the song. It's one of the slow ones. Rib cage. All right, and that was the slow song number 1. Do you want the next one?
Yeah, and the next part of the body.
All right. So the next part of the body I'm seeing is knees, or one knee if you want. And let me pull up the next song. Here we go. and arms. Very cool. I don't know how long you want me to play these for. I don't mean to be cutting you off. Great.
So we'll go up to a little bit faster pace.
You want to change the pace to the medium songs now?
Yeah, and changing the body parts whenever you feel like.
All right.
Whatever part of the body you pull out of the box when you feel like it.
Gotcha. Okay. So
Give-
we are going to start with hands, and here's the next song. Skull. Eye. Back. All right, getting the blood pumping. I love it. I love it.
So you need to talk a little bit louder because when the music's playing, I can barely hear you.
Okay. I'll turn my volume up. Yeah, gotcha.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to the next medium pace song. And the body part will be knees and elbows. Hips. The body part is hips. And our next body part is fingers. Those digits. All right, fantastic. Was
Now
that
let's go
loud
to the
enough for you?
fast. Huh?
Now on to the fast songs.
Fast, and you change it when you feel like it. So it's good for us to figure out a way to give up control by having these random picks. And if there's someone we're safe, someone constructive and sacred witness to do them with and let us pick for each other, that's wonderful. Okay.
Great. And DB Catalyst on YouTube said, woo, woo, love it. Yeah. All right, I'm going to start the next song.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
And the body part is ankle. Ankle. The next body part is chest. The chest. And the next body part is waist down. From your waist down. And next is the wrist. The wrist. It's all in the wrist, ladies and gentlemen. Great. And then maybe for this next song, I'll use up all the rest of them and we'll really have the theme of fast.
Okay, let me have a moment to say a few things.
Mm-hmm.
One, the older we get, the more important it is to play. Life is serious, lots of responsibilities, lots of weight. If we ever listen to the news, there's always terrible, disastrous, sad events. So the more we go through, the more important it is to balance it with playfulness. And the more likely we are to close down and think that that's for kids, that's for dancers, that's for painters, that's for musicians. The truth is, creativity flows through everyone. I never met a first grader, second grader, third grader when I went to a different school every week that couldn't dance color, couldn't tell a story with their movement, couldn't write a poem about the dance, couldn't make a piece of music about the poem, because they were free to not have to be perfect, or not, they weren't afraid of being judged by the others because we were all doing it. So keep the creative, safe people, those who want to keep growing, keep enjoying life, keep finding the moments of joy close, and share your tender spirit with them until you're strong enough and your shield is built strong enough, or you just let the javelins of jealousy, lances of lust, grenades of greed pass through your wide open heart without hurting you, because there's nothing for them to tear. And I can do that sometimes. Other times I have to put my shield up because I'm human like everyone else. So play, explore, be happy, knowing that the process is the product. Doing it, stepping into flow, literally increases our happiness. So who can be too happy? Nobody. Balancing it with responsibilities is something we get to do, and I believe our duty. So, all right, let's go for the fast, and you change it whenever you want, but say it loud so I can hear you.
Absolutely. All right. Here we go. Let me load up this final song-a-rooney here. Song-a-rooney. Here it comes. Okay. And torso is the first body part. go. Elbows. And waist. Don't waste that waist.
She's growing quick, she's grown up hard. Burn her pretty hands, 'cause I told her.
Going south now to the foot. Foot.
She'll never be a queen of vaudeville. She'll never be the girl that sets the world on
We're on a theme here. Legs. Legs. Toes, those toes. All right, fantastic. And I will put the names of all the songs in a comment or something later in the description so everybody can see them.
Right. And so we're going to
Great job, by the way. That was fun. Lots of fun.
thank you. It got me going, and it got me through my fear-free creativity of, well, I all of a sudden realized, wow, it's been nearly half a century since you did a class that was all about movement. What makes you think you can still do that? And my beautiful son said, just have fun. And so I am having fun. And as I say, the older we get, the more important keeping our childlike wonder, keeping our curiosity, keeping our joie de vivre. It can be very challenging. So do things that pump you up, that get that flow going. So we're going to ask if there's any suggestions of things for this episode or the next movement one, which there'll be every 4 episodes, every 4th episode, 2 a week. So I guess once a month, there'll be a movement-based one. So if people have suggestions, I love to hear them for this, for today or for next time. In any of the categories, visual, writing, movement, or sound. So go ahead and send in your suggestions, comments. I love to hear them all. What helped you, what you didn't necessarily enjoy as much as something else, what you'd like to see in another one or experience. So, yes, I hear the bell.
YouTube, thanks for jazzing us up. And then someone said, switching the songs randomly would be fun to totally change the mood up.
Great idea. Thank you. That's a great idea, and we'll definitely do that. Yeah, we're going to use a piece of music that was sent in by one of the people that shows up for these virtual visits. And he spontaneously did a piece of guitar music we're going to share, and I'm going to spontaneously interpret it with dance. Yes.
Joni B on YouTube said, you move beautifully like flowing water.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I was born in the year, the Chinese calendar of the water dragon. So I take that as a high compliment. And a little moment. I was 13 in a grocery store line when a woman I'd never seen before or since came up and said, "Oh, you're a dragon." And I thought, what an odd and fascinating thing to say, because I had started drawing dragons not having any idea I was born in the year of the dragon. But I was. And the water dragons, I found out many years later, um, are the leaders for the common good. And I do feel like my greatest joy comes from sharing what helps me to help others. So hopefully, there's truth in the Chinese calendar. I choose to take it in and see the spiritual synchronicity. Yes.
And Joni B said, "Get Bodhi dancing too." I was dancing a
Well,
little bit down in the corner there. You know, don't you worry.
okay. All right. Um, uh,
Couldn't help myself.
do you want to come dance to Sumner's music with me, or do you want to try something else?
You're in charge. If that's what you want.
What time are we at? I can't tell time when I'm moving.
Time flies when you're flowing like water. It is 12:47.
Okay, so it is time to move on to Sumner's piece of music because it's pretty long, and I wanted to share it. Joni, I remember you saying one of your goals was to write a song, and Mike's goal, the guitar. So I thought interpreting Sumner's spontaneous music and just interpreting it with no rehearsal, no need to be perfect or impressive, was hopefully would help inspire you guys to pursue what gives you joy. And so I do think that before we do that, let's do a little dance together. Put on any of the music that you like, Bo, and come on out and we'll just both dance a little bit, and then we'll do Sumner's piece. You pick.
Oh, let me find something here. We're gonna have to repeat a song because I played all of them. But here we go.
I'll follow you.
If you've gone a little dark behind the eyes, needs must let me devil dry. So I'll meet you on the steps of the wireless ride. You know we drove all night. A happy car is a stolen car, it ain't right. I never said it was right. A happy car is a stolen car. Where you need a little grace, but what you going to do? Do you need a little look and honey to see us through?
Anyway,
Do you need a little honey to
So one of the things I like to think about is we don't have to drink alcohol to dance, and we don't have to be serious. We can be silly. We can be playful. We can be serious if we choose, but we can enjoy having a body that moves.
try not to press the mic right into your neck. We get
Okay.
air traffic controller vibes.
Okay, I'm going to hold it until we put on Sumner's music, which
You can hold it close to your face, just not.
Okay, so how's this?
That's perfect.
All right. So our bodies are not just vehicles to carry our brains around. They are designed to move. Our ancestors have been walking and dancing and telling stories around the fire with movement, celebrating with one another for millions of years. And I like to say that be gentle with yourself, but move. And I heard a man who was an expert on exercise, and he was doing a big conference, and he said, everybody that runs for their exercise, raise your right hand. And then he said, now, anybody that's had an injury, raise your left hand. And then he said to the room, look around the room. Do you see all these people with both hands up? Unless we're a Maasai who are tall and lean and live on cow's blood and milk, our ancestors have not been running. You can run safely, but hopefully it's on soil, not concrete or asphalt. But we were designed to move in a more fluid way, dancing, walking, stretching, bending, lifting, not repetitive. So I'm like, clean your own house, weed your own garden, do your own laundry, move, and in different ways is healthy. And doing repetitive stationary bicycles, weights, it can make impressive looking bodies, but what I strive for is staying healthy, staying limber, staying without injury. And so I don't seek, I'd like to impress other people, sure, who wouldn't? I'd like to be appreciated, but more than anything else, I want to be kind to myself and do the sorts of movement that are natural and healthy. So that's what Floga is about, being gentle with ourselves and moving with awareness of our bodies. So, all right, now we're going to share this piece of music. I'm so grateful Sumner sent to me a couple days ago, and haven't practiced, just spontaneous interpretation. Feel free to spontaneously interpret it yourselves, or listen and do that later, or choose your own music to do that with, and enjoy that we can move, celebrate, appreciate we have movement. Okay?
Great. And so this song is by Sumner Madison. And do you want me to let it play all the way through? Or you
Well, if I stop, you can stop the music.
All right. Great. Well, here we go. And I'm putting some of in the credits here, the music that we've listened to.
Great.
Didn't quite, I'm gonna keep adding that for a bit here.
Great. And I'd like to ask you guys to send in suggestions of your favorite music, music that moves you, inspires you, soothes you, challenges you, motivates you, and we'll incorporate it into these episodes of exploring our fear-free creativity, and any other suggestions you have, thank you for suggesting changing the music, just spontaneously changing music. And one of the boxes does have music on it and different types of music, so we're going to explore that, and different ethnic interpretations of music. We'll explore that. Seasons, colors, elements. So there's lots to have fun with, and I love to hear your ideas. So there we go. I feel complete. Let your feelings out of the boxes our fear puts them in. Let's pick one and see what it says. Just for fun. Incalcitrant and transformation. So moving and transforming or getting stuck. And it was fun to make these little feeling flags and have these boxes. I love to recreate from things that come into my life. Instead of sending them to the landfill, make them into art, like the box for the fear-free creativity, and these boxes for feelings out of the box. None of us really fit neatly in anyone else's pre-described, pre-shaped box. We're all individuals, we're all unique, and let us celebrate that and celebrate diversity, appreciate ourselves, and share what only we can ourselves. So thank you for being here. Are there any other comments or things to address, young man?
Let's see. We got Sparkle Motion on YouTube from Movie Makers, and Joni B said, "Amazing! I'm so thankful for you both."
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Back at you. We feel the same about you and all of you out there, and we really appreciate you sharing this and sharing your ideas about what we can do in the future. Yes.
And Joni B said, "Mike danced with me too." Good
Nice.
on you, Mike.
Nice. That makes me very happy. And yes, men have as much creativity as women. They have as many feelings as women, and they actually speak as many words as women do. Generally, women speak about relationships and feelings, and men speak about, generally, stuff and jobs. So it's perceived that women say more, talk more than men, but when they do studies, they've discovered, no, it's about the same amount of words. We just accept feelings, and men can too. So more power to you, and be free, enjoy yourself, enjoy your creativity, love yourself, and come back and see what we do next. Next episode will be about sound, and that will be challenging for me. My area of least comfort I would have to say would be making sound. I survived my dangerous upbringing by being silent and hiding a lot. So to speak up is hard for any of us, especially women, and especially me. So here we go. We're gonna keep exploring, freeing ourselves, fear-free creativity. Thanks for being here. Thank you, Bodhi, for dancing and doing all that you do to help.
My pleasure. Great stuff, guys. Lots of fun.